This is the D Zone with JJ McGrath of Lutheran High North. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. So we're just gonna start off with a pre-screening. So what was your positions?
Kicker and punter.
Your height and weight,
6'2", 210.
and your first varsity game started.
Freshman year, third game into the season at U of D.
Uh, and most memorable game.
Probably last year against Bishop Foley, kicked a 53-yarder.
And your pre-game tradition.
Running, warm up, and stretching, and then kick a couple field goals and be done. Chill.
And how about your post-game traditions?
Dinner with the team and go home and sleep.
And the athlete you try to build your game around for like a role model?
Mike Sadler, the punter for state, he's a really good guy and just a well-rounded athlete. He's a very, very good punter. So.
All right. So what have you been up to since the win versus Richmond in the final week of the season to prepare for this upcoming season? And do you have any routines that you have been doing?
Yeah, just the daily workouts, doing legs on Mondays and Wednesdays and whatnot, and then kicking on the weekends and stuff. So heading up to some combines is coming up in this week and next week. So just working for it, getting ready for next season.
Okay. I'm assuming with the nice weather we've had this spring and winter that it's allowed you more to practice out on the field than in past off seasons.
Oh yeah, for sure. Been able to kick once or twice a week outside. Never been able to kick outside that long.
When practicing, how do you simulate live game situations such as pressure, and how do you apply this to the actual games that you play?
Just kind of put it on yourself. Just every kick you think this is the game-winning kick, fourth quarter, 2 seconds left. That's about it.
All right. How did you get into kicking for football? Was it from playing other positions or from playing other sports like soccer?
Yeah, I played soccer. I moved to Detroit or this area in ninth grade, and the soccer coach said that they wanted me, but I couldn't try out because it was too late in the season, or it was 2 weeks into the season, so they couldn't do that. And so the football coach was like, "Hey, I've seen you kick a soccer ball. Try a football." And freshman year, I was kicking like 45-yard field goals, and he's like, "Do it." So I did it, and then it worked out.
Any regrets not playing soccer ever?
Not at all. Not anymore.
Once you got the football, it didn't look
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
All right. How is your mindset different from past years this off season?
It's not much different. I think it's just more of the fact that I'm more focused. And it's not so much for this upcoming season as it is for working on making myself better for the team next year. I'm not really worried about the college scholarships and stuff because I know that stuff is going to come, but trying to improve on my kicking and my punting so that it helps out the team in the long run. That's more of what it's about. So just focused on that.
Okay. What about some goals that you were able to accomplish last season that you kind of set prior to the season?
Definitely breaking my record every year has been my goal since freshman year. I broke the school record freshman year, and then I broke it the next year, and then this last year I broke it again. So next year I'm hoping to break it along with the state record for sure.
What about punting records? Any of those?
I broke the punting record this year with the 68-yard punt, but I'm not really looking to break the state one because it's a 99-yard punt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to break that anytime soon.
I don't think anyone's going to break that
Me
one.
neither.
Now, how about some goals that you have set for this next coming season?
Ford Field
Or
for the Catholic game, yeah. And it's a possibility. We have a lot of good sophomores that are coming up, so I'm not worried, just getting ready to work.
you know if you guys will still be playing the Catholic League AA champion or the intersectional since the two have merged?
Um, that's my coach's problem. I just go out there and do my work. I don't know. I think we're in the second tier down. So you got De La Salle and Brother Rice and all those guys are in the first.
The Central.
Yeah, the real game. I think we're one below them.
Okay.
So and the other ones below them, below us, that's like your Loyola and your Shrine.
Shrine,
Yeah,
Cabrini.
those are those guys. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty tough playing Notre Dame Prep, Divine Child, and Richard all in the same season, twice in the same season
Yeah,
if that comes.
it's not easy. It's the only thing is they're same thing with us. Very inconsistent with their skill. So like 2 years they'll be great, and then 2 years they'll be awful because they lose that class of seniors. So
Right.
that's the way we've been lately. We've lost a lot of guys. Lost like 25 seniors last year. So we have about 15 sophomores starting on varsity. So it's tough, but we'll make it work this year.
Okay. And 2011, Lutheran North finished with a 4-5 record. What are some keys to switching the results and reaching the playoffs this upcoming season?
Experience, totally. We have, like I said, we had like 15 sophomores starting, and that whole last year they got to play, and they all started here, and then they moved up, and they just got better and better and more confident, and that's helped a lot, their experience.
Right.
So I think they'll be a lot better this year.
Okay. A few weeks ago, you were able to visit some southern schools like Florida and Southern Florida.
Yep.
What stood out about these schools?
South Florida's it's a really young program. They've only had football for like 15 or something years, I think 15 or 16 years. So they get a lot of new stuff from Under Armour. That's pretty cool. And they just got new fields and new facilities and all that stuff. So it's a nice school. It's downtown Tampa. It's a good area.
No longer using Raymond James Stadium?
No, they are.
Oh.
But they got new. They're still using Raymond James, but they're not using like the lacrosse fields for practice.
Oh.
They have their own facilities. But Florida, that was a nice school. That's really cool. They got great coaches too.
Can't say enough about the swamp and shit.
No, the swamp it's amazing. My dad played soccer there, so I've been there a lot. But it's cool to get down there for football.
Were you able to meet up with Valdez Showers on Madison? And
Yep, I hung out with Valdez for a few minutes after practice. He's pretty cool. I've only met him once because played him against him. Played a playoff game last year, and he just tore us up. But he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. I hung out with him. Walked up to him. I told him who I was, and he's like, "Oh man, you still kicking 55 yards and stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, still kicking 55 yards." And so he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy.
He mentioned if he'll be playing at all next year.
Him?
Yeah.
He thought I was going to Florida. He thought I already committed, and he's like, "So you're going to Florida?" I was like, "No, not yet. So we'll see. But going to a camp down there this summer, we'll find out."
Okay. And what about other schools that you've visited lately and basically this off season?
I went to Michigan 2 weeks ago, and it was all right. It's Ann Arbor's a very cramped town. I'm not really a city guy, but Michigan State is probably my number one right now as far as recruiting goes. I have Auburn and LSU both are on me right now, and I just started getting stuff from Alabama recently. They're looking for a kicker as well. So South Florida and Air Force and Notre Dame also are looking at me, but mostly just Michigan State is my number one right now. Focused on building up my skills so I make sure I can solidify those offers.
Nice.
So.
Which schools have personally showed you the most interest so far, besides just your interest in them?
State, South Florida, and Air Force, and LSU. Those three schools.
They contact you like every week and stuff?
I get a couple letters from. I think I get 2 or 3 letters from State a week. I get a couple letters from South Florida. I got a letter a week or so from LSU and whatnot. So.
Okay. And finally, how have you enjoyed the recruiting process so far, and like what's to come of it, like your expectations of it?
It's fun. I like meeting those coaches. I know Coach Brad Salem on State really well. I know John Reschke. Him and I have gotten really close, and we're talking about getting a lot of the guys to come to State in case I end up going there and whatnot. And a lot of guys from South Florida. I know the punter from South Florida. It's cool meeting all those guys that are already there, because they know what you've been going through. So it's cool to talk to them and hear what they're saying, how they did in high school and stuff. So it's good to get a good perspective from someone else.
You get any crazy recruiting stories told to you? Any BS you've sniffed out?
Oh yeah, you can pick that stuff out all day. You can pick out the pre-written questions and the pre-written statements, like, we're looking for a kicker when they're not looking for a kicker.
You can come and start right away from day one.
Well, I'm not even looking to start. I could care less as long as I get to play. I just I'll redshirt for a year. That's if I go to State, that's what I'm gonna end up doing. So I'm fine with whatever. As long as I get a good year, I'm good.
All right. Thank you for your time, and look forward to seeing you kick this fall. Have a nice day.